Good evening, everyone, or afternoon, or good night, depending on when you're watching this video. Just like I see most YouTubers doing, randomly having chats about Pokemon, I thought I'd have a random chat and chat with you about a few points of my view and how my collection's going and how yours is going, and ideas of where the hobby is taking us, ideas of correlations to the hobby. So the main topic of this video is going to be, for myself personally, something that I've very much enjoyed watching with my two children, Jessica and Patrick, is the Pokemon Horizons and the linking with the cards and how they're really trying to bring certain Pokemon into it, and how they started from the very beginning, from Scarlet and Violet base, and they preempted us, these new Pokemon that they're bringing in with the game, but secretly is because they were making the new show because they needed to, because the passing of the actors of Jesse and James and Meowth and Professor Oak, they sadly passed away, so the show had to be moved on, which is the main reason, I believe, why Ash had to leave us. Nothing to do with Ash, it's all to do with the voice actors have left, and how can you replace Professor Oak, and how can you replace Jesse and James and Meowth? You can't. They're cool. So with that being said, the new shows come around. Roy, Liko, and purple haired, no face, weird, crazy triangle eyes, because you never see a face. And she's got the blue one, and Roy's got Fuecoco, and then you see how the show evolves and how Fuecoco is moving on, and how they moved into terrestrialization, and how things were terrestrializing. We got prismatic. The show's moved on. It's all about the big six. You see correlations with cards like Rayquaza, the black Rayquaza in the TV show. Fire, hope they do a black Rayquaza SAR. Angry Man, how they explain gouging fire. Oh, masterful. Getting confused with Entei, him being part of the six, really cool. You see correlations that recently at the moment, the new set just releases, just as the new TV show releases, and they're talking about, what are they talking about? Paradox Pokemon, and they explain gouging fire, and it's like the Paradox Rift suddenly goes up. There's lots of correlations, I think, with that. I think the TV show's good at seeing that, and they're trying to link that away. I think that's why they did Charizard. Charizard's, he's thereabouts. I think they kind of have to do a Charizard set, with like the new sets. So I think we're gonna get a big, it's fire because of Crocalor. Crocalor is pretty cool. So I think that's one correlation, that we're getting. I think there's people to say, oh, why is the hobby so big? I'm going to put it all to bed in this video as well. The correlation to the huge rise in price in Sparket and the huge rise in price in gold has to be legitimately China. As we can't see any YouTubers from China and doing that. Oh, so my mum's calling, let's close that one down. You can see China's in the market, they're all buying cards. Chinese kids will be wanting to, just a text letting you know, of course, mum. Crazy. Just lost my train of thought, thanks mum. But no, there must be a correlation with China in the market, and Chinese kids just want English sets. They don't just want Chinese looking cards, they want the English speaking cards. And if you're a rich Chinese kid, imagine that you would want the cool as English sets, because maybe some of the other kids don't have those. Like, let's not be unrealistic about that. Like, I think lots of Asian ladies have all got Gucci or Louis Vuitton, you know, LV. It's a thing, like, and it's cool. What's wrong with being fashionable? So they like it. So of course you would want to have the cool English stuff as well. So I reckon there'll be like huge collectors in China, and they're online. They must be buying an absolute ton of English cards, and why would they not? Can't wait to see one of their collections. So I think that's a correlation that's happening in the market. YouTubers definitely have correlation in the market. People pumping and talking about it and saying that they don't. Pokémon, for example, makes a video talking about how people don't, then decides to do one himself to pump his own video and saying the fear of the FOMO and everything else. And he might have got this idea from coming up with a crazy lie that he saw from Nintendo, from maybe the beat 'em up guys. I think he did something recently where he posted about some Nintendo Direct, and then it blew up because he was just lying, just flat out like trying to make some hype about something. And in the Pokemon hype, it definitely seems to be real, and we all know what happened and probably where the hype started from. The hype started from lots of people watching Rev, and that's why Rev probably needed to take a break. You can see that when he talked about the Umbreon, that one pumped, and it's continuously been pumped. And then, yeah, all of that seems to have worked out. And then the whole Cool Trainer Ryan with pulling all those cards and doing non-stop videos of pulling so many cards of chase cards and making it a big thing, like the Greninja. That I think he pumped the Greninja up to the stars because he went through so many boxes trying to get it, and people thought, geez, this guy's taking this many, it's got to be worth that much because he's cycled through so many boxes. And so then that market value became that price. It's happening with, as I said, with the Pokémon. He put some other card that was like 1 cent, and then he decided to do it, and then it's like it's pumped its way up to 80 cents. And it's must be, maybe, as they all say in every one of their streams, maybe there's a bot. Maybe there's a bot that's buying up cards, and they're correlating on trends. And so because there's a trend bot. So if something's trending and it instantly starts to raise in instance receipts, they jump in on the trend too. I'm sure someone would have invented a bot that would do that, just so that they can buy things before it hits so much. And like I think that could be a correlation. But yeah, TV show outstanding. How I think it's a really cool thing that they're doing, and people don't understand how that's affecting the market as well, on how kids are maybe watching the show and playing the game and then wanting those cards for the future. And then that correlation is trending as well. Who the top cards are going to be as well. Cerulege being an enemy and not an enemy. Romeo and Juliet theme going on there, but maybe not so much. Like, it seems like Roy is going to be the future, and Crocodile to evolve into Cerulege. So that's going to be exciting for everyone. And then exciting for the whole Fire future, and he's going to be battling Umbreon because he's the dark leader of the other new bad guy or something, bad but good guy. It's kind of like Seto Kaiba. Bad but good, and how's moving castle. Who knows about the Volt Tackles? I think this is my final thought of my final excuse me. I'm going to have some savvy touch for that. Endorsement. Yeah, if you're feeling a bit of a cough and you need it, yeah, hit the Savvy Touch, everyone. Legitimately the best. Fresh breath again. So easy. Airways clear. Brilliant. If you got asthma or anything, hit the Savvy Touch up. Savvy Touch Rocket Fuel. Do that. So here it is. Don't keep this secret, okay? If every one of you who's got the collector app, let's just have a little secret. The other day, scrolling through it, just minding my own business, having a look at my collection, also having a look at some of the sets of yesteryear and what I might need or what the top cards are. And I suddenly got to think, I went down to Dragon Mastery and Lost Thunder. I was scrolling through and I was interested in the trainers that were featured, and then certain Pokemon, Dragonite, Reshiram. And I was thinking, awfully recognizable cards that have just come back in recent sets. I was going through and I was like, it seems that these four bottom, these four seem to be. I went back further and I was like, these ones seem to be these four sets seem to be a combination of Journey Together, because it's got Zorak and it's got those cards, and I was like, then this set seems to be a combination of moving on through Cosmic and Tag, because it's got the same power. It's got Gardevoir, it's got Sylveon, it's got these Pokemon that are they're all coming through. And then I was like, what's the next set? Oh no, sorry. And then we're getting up to what set we were getting. I can't remember what we were getting up to, but then it got to something we were at Lucario, and I was like, oh, interesting. And then I had Gardevoir and Lucario, and I was like, oh. And I was like, I wonder what comes next. And then it was the next set was Darkness Ablaze. It was the next set with, I think it's Celebrations. It's 25-year anniversary. And I was like, we're just on the 26th anniversary. We're real close. And we're getting a fire set, which is just released and just coming in the back of the year. And then we're going to be getting close to an anniversary set. And then I was looking at, and then it goes the shiny set. And then it went 25 years, and then it's Evolving Skies and Celebrations, and it's a Battle Styles. It starts off with those there, and I was like, we're going to get sets in a mega set, because I think I saw that it's all going to be mega, based on around that generation. So when we think that the Gengar set's coming out, that's Fusion Strike Mega 2.0. So it's Fusion Strike combined with Brilliant Stars. And we're going to get Evolving Skies mixed with one other set, Celebrations, I reckon. And then we'll get a Radiant collection. And we'll get... The Radiant collection is the Sapphire, I think that was leaked. It's like a Sapphire set. And that would make sense. So we're going back to Sword and Shield secretly, I think. And it's repeating itself on those Pokemon. So if you look at those sets, anticipate what Pokemon were the top tier in those sets. Those Pokemon will get reprinted in new sets coming up, which is going to be amazing. Can't wait for that Evolving Sky set. That's coming back out. That's coming back out. Maybe with a mix of Chilling Rain. So the Chilling Rain Pokemon with the Evolving Skies Pokemon. And fusion with Brilliance. So we'll get a Charizard and Ivy Venusaur set again. Or was that in there? In the Brilliant Stars? Something else? And then fusion with the Gengar and the Espeon. Maybe it'll be Fusion and Evolving Skies. Oh, that'll make everyone sick to their stomachs. Their wallets will be hurting. Mine will be. Everyone's will be. That would be a no-brainer, eh? Gengar with Eevee, or you would separate them. A Gengar set would make a lot of money. itself. You got to think business-wise there. So I think that's what the Mega is. I think they're going back Sword and Shield, and it's going to be rinse and repeat on Sword and Shield. So if you're around with Sword and Shield, you know what the pull rates were. You know who the top cards were. You know what Pokemon everyone liked. You know what was cool. You know Fusion and what's going on now. Astral Radiance with Dialga and Parakeet, they're coming back in. Holy cow. Just remembered about my Astral. $700 I think at the moment. Astral, that's New Zealand. It is boss ass. Great set. And then after that, near the end of this, wait, was it Lost? Or was it Crown? It was Crown, eh? Is that what the last shiny set, Mega set's gonna be? A redub of Crown. And then, after that era then, obviously, we go back to Scarlet and Violet on the new After Mega set. And it's repeat those Pokemon. So all the cool ones that we had in base set and what's the other ones, they'll be back. And then there'll be a huge Pikachu set. Sounds like a bit of me. Sounds like my correlation and how things are going. Didn't like that last little Jimmy I did. But I was your host with the most. My name's Andrew, the Pokemon painter who loves Pikachu quite a bit. Beanies around, just random things in the car. We just got random Pokemon cards just like lying on the floor. This is how we do it, and you know, we don't need to care about things. You know, what else we got? We've just got random packs. We've got my man. Put a pin, thinking there. Switch the camera around relatively there. But yeah, as we can see, we are Pokemon painters. Dulux paint, resin paint. We are Family Fun Flat with Jess. I hope you enjoyed this just random Pokemon talk about my ideas about what's going on with Pokemon. The next video might just randomly talk about just another topic. If you like the ideas, you can just watch and listen, like write some comments in there about what we can talk about and what we can jam about. It's just random people outside. But this has been my Pokemon office, the Andrew Brownlee painting van. So with that, I'll bid you adieu. I might as well go to 20 minutes, eh? Why not? We'll see if we can get some more ad revenue, but we won't because we're not on any ads at the moment. But please like and subscribe. Please help us get to 500 subs. That's probably my next goal. Many steps, then 1,000. Really just want to do this for the kids growing up so they can do something with their own thing. We're doing fun other things. We do other cool things, but this is just my little bit of the Family Fun Flat with Jess. This will be Andrew's Pokemon Center marketplace. Give you some potions, some rare candies, hook you up with the tips. I talked about Rayquaza before. Don't be sleeping on that Ray from Lost. Don't be sleeping on the ugly cards from Black Bolt and White Flare. I think they've surprised everyone and are surprising everyone now. Don't sleep on the tag teams that you see there for 50. Don't sleep on them. 25 maybe in the US. Don't sleep on that. Buy those. They'll soon go up a little. It only takes just another year. 3 years and you should be right. You'll start to think. My experience of my 4-year journey, I think now, coming on to 5 years. had our interactions with lots of you dogs out there on the Pokemon world. So this is me. This is the person you see sometimes messaging on your thing. Shout out Cool Trainer Ryan. Shout out Mimic Brew. Shout out Pokeny. Shout out Pokerev. But you don't ever text back Pokerev. He never texts back. Shout out, who else are we shouting out? Beard. Beard's alright. Shout out Nate Dog. Shout out Plumber. And I really like to say, bring it on, Plumber. We got some Pokemon painting up in there. Maybe we could do a combo. I could paint your bathrooms for you, easy. Shout out, who else is good? Chloe and Dean. Shout out to my Brits. The dark guy with the glasses and his kebab mates. Oh, sorry, English. Sorry, I'm Scottish, part Scottish, so we can be slightly offensive. Sorry about that one. We're all G's. I think you guys are G's. Hopefully you can see my mate up in Japan. I'd love get some ace grading up in there. The other guy that knows them. All those fellas. You Poms know. You know, you Poms, you English should know who we're talking about. You're like a collective group. Shout out to the Aussies. The man who's just done his hair. And was it J-Love, who's now in, Japan? See you in Japan, maybe. Well, I've always had interactions with you on your live streams. Most Cool Trainer Ryan, though. Cool Trainer Ryan. Big shout out to you, bro, actually. Like, people talk out and can put Cool Trainer Ryan down. But from the time that I've watched Cool Trainer Ryan on his YouTube, yeah, he's talked some nonsense. Like, everyone talks nonsense. But he shouts out to everyone. And he legitimately remembers you. Like, if you keep on talking and you actually make it, yeah, you actually make a difference. He actually does understand. Cool Trainer Ryan actually listens to everyone and actually does, I think, love everyone and actually finds it really enjoyable sitting there being alone some days, opening cards to himself, talking like this, and having some interaction back with people. And that's made him maybe, say some things he's not supposed to say. But, big world out here. And he's been cool. Like, it's I think it was the last comment that I said on one of his channels. He said something, and someone said, "Oh, Family Fun Flats from Italy," and he goes, "Nah, I think they're Australian." And I was like, what a sick guy who's blatantly from New Zealand, and he knows it, and he has shouted out many times that he dislikes New Zealand. I don't know. Maybe Chris Wood heard him, maybe maybe Liverpool heard him, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's Alexander Isak, my Newcastle guys, but oh man. But he's a G, so stop talking nonsense about Cool Trainer Ryan in that sense. He knows who you are, and he does respect you. Opossum, don't respect that dude. He even wrote a message to me and said that he can hate on me if he wants to hate on me. No love for that man in the hobby. We'll mention him there. We might have a 10-minute rant about how much I dislike Opossum and how much I wrote comments on some of his posts, and then it felt like he attacked me, and then the next time I posted on something, he did it again, and it was like kind of a small man, little man syndrome. Maybe he got sweaty pits under his arms and he needs to have some deodorant or something, or look a bit nicer or something, put something nice on. Or maybe I should fix my glasses. Maybe I should call people bad names like Virgin Gang. Like, please, man, that's just like, to even come up with something like that. Like, this is just me and my band. For me to come up and to call you guys that as my fans, wow. Like, wow. and then like to call thing out and to have beef and say that, like, wow. Like, I'm gonna call out, what's wrong with you, and what's wrong with your community trying even to boast this person up like this? Why do you think he's got visible things? He's just talking in his van, doesn't show you anything. Some of my videos I can show you lots of random things, some cool cars or some other things. This guy doesn't even show you any cards, just talks about it and talks about bad people and the beef that he has in the hobby. Cool. Yeah, cool, kids. Not a card to invest in. Not a card to invest in. Like, the Nate guy's pretty cool. I think the Disney Lorcana guy, shout out to him, he's pretty cool. Cool guy with the hat on, slick backwards. He's slick. He talks a lot. He's cool at card opening. I don't understand the new ginger lady as well. Sorry to shout out the gingers. Well, that girl, I don't even know what her name is. She's very annoying, and she feels like she's just trying to hate on men. So, to you personally, I don't know who hate on you, but I'm sure you have a dad, love. And you wouldn't speak to your dad like that. So I don't know where you're trying to. Hopefully, maybe you do. Or maybe your dad's an asshole, and so that's why you disrespect men like that. And you say bad things about people and try and put them down. Hey, you're trying to put Alex down and other people and say that we're delusional. Whoa, delusional. Yeah, I'm so delusional. I'm mimic brew delusional. Whoa, I'm gonna make my own video song. Mimic brew, the video song's cool. Compared to everyone else. And even the other Walmart and how they stock and some of them try to open in that cards, like, I find it confusing though, kids, because they never mention kids. So kids, I'm not sure why you want to watch those people. You could watch me and I will give you advice like I did in the stand, like a correlation, like, and then you can think for yourselves, like, he said this and he said this card, like, why would I mention Rayquaza? Why would I mention Crocodile? Why would I mention Roy? Why would I mention things like that? Why would I give you some random advice about what I was looking at and seeing what could happen? What could you expect? What could you spend your money on to invest in if you think that has happened? What Pokemon is your number one and what do you like the best? And if you like some of the ones that I'm talking about, maybe you're just like every other chip off the old block and you want to invest in these cards and you can see the potential. You can see the tag teams rising. You can see the Pokemon Go Mew rising. You can see all the Mew buzz rising. You can see the Mewtwo buzz rising. You can see the Lugia buzz rising, the Gengar, the Dragonite, Sleeping Dragonite, not the others. You can see some of the Charizards, but not really, hardly any. You can see Pikachu constantly gaining every day. You can see common cards of Squirtle. Like, kids, if you want to stop watching these other people, if you want to stop watching them and never hear it, like, them actually name any cards. They show graphs and, yeah, they just show graphs. I feel like they're just showing their collection cards. So I'll show you my collection card, but there are other cards that are out there, like, yeah, the Bubble Mew. Whoa, mistakes. Who doesn't make mistakes about selling that card for lows? Even, like, the Pink Mew. But is the Pink Mew better than the Mew from Fusion? Which is what I traded my Bubble Mew for. And then I traded it for a Japanese Bubble Mew. And then, oh God. But do I care? No. Once you get to a certain point in the hobby, like you see all the other vendors and they never say it, they don't care. That's why they give cards back. They have their own personal collection. They get enough money that's generated on through them, which they think is just so random. At that point, I think when I get into a bit more vending as well, I'm going to think the same thing. It's just going to be absolutely nuts. What do you want for my card? $100? Okay. Like, fair. And when a kid comes up, oh, what would you do for this card? I might just do that for free because I don't really care. And I remember getting that card myself, and I can see the look in your eye. Sometimes it's about the look in your eye. and about that person's interactions, and sometimes you just feel it, and you're just like, coin flips and all of that. And I'm not stealing any of your cards, and no more binders. I think no more binders at vendors. Like, it's untrustworthy. It's too hard to look through the binder while you think. Maybe the vendor should show you the binder, and the vendor flips through it, and then he says, do you like anything? Page 1, 2, 3, or like, I don't know. It's hard to trust these binders. God, a random extra 10, go to 10 minutes, went to 20 minutes, went to 30 minutes. It just sort of expelled into just another big Pokemon rant in the van. But that's how I want to roll with these things. I want to let my emotions get the best of me. My ideas just come to me. I think that's like maybe Nostalgianomics at the moment, him getting a bit blasted. I think that's what we can do to be pro, and to really generate some cool understanding about the cards that we should be getting. Don't be scared to be buying these cards. Some of the ones that I've said, just don't be. I think they're just solid cards, just like every other investment does. And yeah, so to end this, let's just have a video and just see one of my recent pickups from my local game store, which is legitimately, geez. That's not the card. So we picked ourselves up on the first highlight video. At the end of the video, we picked ourselves up. Drum roll, please. I wonder what we think it is. It's not a very good light. Yeah, we picked up. It's not a very good light. We'll fix the light on the next video. Can I fix it there? Is it better there? Oh, it's still hard. Yeah, we picked that. It's the Pokemon Fan Club. So yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah. So yeah. So with that, there we go. So with that, I hope you join Family Fun Flat with Jess, and you subscribe to hear more content from the Pokemon painter, Andrew. And you can join this Pokemon fan club like the rest of us and become fans of the Pokemon world, children and adults alike, and learn some things, have fun, grow, really experience with some knowledge, and have fun. We'll do some openings, we'll talk about cards, and we'll show some cards, most of all. And we'll just show cool things. Currently in New Zealand, I think this is like $20. So just cool, like to collect trainers. Look at what he's got. I could not. Like literally, he's got Pokemon Labubu's. Which, don't sleep on these. But yeah. So with that, au revoir everyone, and until next time, be legendary.